practice, your thought leaders practice, is a living entity. It's really easy to see our practice as just an extension of ourselves. It's how you spend your time, and invoices follow and credit cards are charged. But what if we treated it as its own entity with its own personality? And this shift in perspective might just change the game for you. So I think your practice is more than just a sidekick. Consider it as more than a vehicle to express yourself and make money. It's like a partner in your journey, and like any good relationship, it needs attention and respect. If you neglect it or take it for granted, it's not going to thrive. You wouldn't expect a friend to always have your back without giving anything in return, right? So the same goes for your practice. You also want to avoid the trap of unrealistic expectations, because it's easy to fall into this trap of expecting your practice to do everything. Like, my practice job is to make me happy, it's to bring in cash, and it's to grow on its own without any focus. But let's be honest, that's a lot to ask without putting in the work. Sure, your practice can bring joy and success, but needs your input and care to do so. I like to think of mine like a garden. So here are some questions to ponder. Am I treating my practice with respect? Are you giving it the time and resources it needs to grow? What does my practice need to thrive? And maybe it's more marketing, maybe skill building for you, or better networking, whatever it is. Make sure you're addressing these needs. And are my moods and expectations putting unfair pressure on my practice? So be honest about how your emotions or unrealistic goals might be affecting things. It might not be your practice's fault that you're bored. It might be yours. So some takeaways and exercises. Number one, respect your practice. Treat it like a living thing that needs care. Regularly check in on how it's going. Balance your expectations. Set goals that match the effort you're willing to put in. And maybe a thinking exercise is to spend 15 minutes each week focusing on one area of your practice that could use a little bit more love, and jot down 3 actions you can take to improve that. For those that are in the Thought Leaders Business School, they journal weekly and send me that journal, letting me know what they're thinking, they're feeling, what their gut's telling them, what worked, what didn't work, and what they're going to choose to do differently the following week. And that is an example of a nurturing practice that can really grow your practice. And so seeing a practice as its own entity creates a more sustainable and rewarding journey. And this shift not only helps you grow, but also turns your practice into a powerful platform for making an impact. So maybe it's time to take your practice out on a date, get to know it a little. Perhaps draft a 2-way letter, which is an imaginary chat between you and your practice, where you have a dialogue with your practice. Might it want to say, to you if you stopped and listened to it for a while? And the answers you get back might shock you. So give it a go and let me know what your practice has been dying to say to you.